Hey guys, welcome to a Gate Crash 8.4 with the Lehrbehr for the themtgnoob. Make sure to check out the website and all the other great things that are on there. We are opening a first pack, which is pretty weak overall. The strongest cards in this pack are Croconura and Wojak Halberdiers, followed up by Smite and Hands of Binding being like the next strongest. There's also a Debtor's Pulpit. Chances we wheel anything relevant out of this pack are highly, highly unlikely. So the pick really comes down to Croconura versus Wojak Halberdiers. I don't like drafting Boros in this set at all. I think Croconura is a very good card. Giant Spider is really good at defending in this format and attacking. I just really like it, and I really hate committing myself to Boros with the first pick. It's actually miserable. I really don't like it. Alright, with the next pack, we see a Gruul Rage Beast versus a Drakewing Krasis. This is an interesting pick. It's a sort of a decision point, I guess. If we take the Gruul Rage Beast, we're obviously leaning more towards Gruul, which is fine. There's also Drakewing Krasis, which is, would obviously take us more towards Simic. Of the 7 drops in this format, Rage Beast is the best one, obviously, because it has a very strong immediate impact on the game. That being said, I don't like 7 drops in this format. It's just too slow. This format's pretty fast. It relies a lot on 2 and 3 drops. And honestly, I think Drakewing Krasis is one of the best 3 drops in Simic anyway. So I'm just going to take the Drakewing Krasis here. You guys may disagree with that, and I understand, but it's something I prefer. Right here we get a Soul Ransom. There's also an Elusive Krasis, Burst of Strength, Spell Rupture, all fine cards. Also, Arrows of Justice is here. So here we could take the... I guess we really can't. Really the only pick for us is the Elusive Krasis, which is going to be very good for us. No doubt about that. Soul Ransom is overrated. It's fine. Sometimes it's going to steal a creature, sometimes it's just going to draw you 2 cards, both of which are very hard decisions for your opponent. And it does combo well with cards like Corpse Blockade and stuff like that, just to be a mind control. But at the same time, I think because this will put us into Simic, and that's okay with me. Next pack, we get a Crown Ceratok. There's also a Scab Clan Charger, a Leyline Phantom in this pack. Skin Grand Goblin is also here, so I think we're probably in the right guild right now. I'm pretty happy about this pick. Crown Ceratok is pretty sick with +1/+1 counters. Otherwise, the Scab Clan Charger would be fine, but I think I'll just take the Crown Ceratok there. Pretty easy pick. So here's an interesting pick. There's a Keymaster Rogue, which is really bad. Don't like the card at all. Clinging in Enemies, which is mediocre. There's also a Shanktail here. I think I'm going to take the Shanktail. It's just the strongest card in this pack by far. Chances we splash it are highly unlikely, but I really don't want to play Keymaster Rogue. And we could always switch into Gruul if necessary. Don't want to, but it could happen, so I'm just going to take the Shanktail here. You guys may disagree with that pick. Here's a pretty easy Shamble Shark for us. It's a pretty sweet evolved creature, so we'll be taking that. Wow. Wow. So Gruul and Simic are open. Jeez. I mean, this is so strong. I can't believe this is here. This is such a high pick in my mind. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I mean, I think I just take it here because of the power level. I understand Disciple, the ways it's playable in our deck, but Jesus, Scarred Guild Mages, that's late. That is late. Alright, here we just get another Shamble Shark, which is good. But I mean, I don't mind just hacking this pick, honestly. Chances we play Disciple the old ways in Simic are not likely. You can probably just splash for this card, honestly. I don't know, I'll just take the Shamble Shark here. Pretty easy pick for us. Here we wheel the Simic Kieran, I guess. Probably won't play it, but it's an option. Here we get an Adaptive Snapjaw versus a Totally Lost. I'll take the Snapjaw here. It's fine with Crown Ceratok, it's obviously a lot better. And then the other pick here would really be the Totally Lost. I don't like Incursion Specialist at all. Totally Lost is fine, but I think the Evolved creature is pretty good. At the 5 slot, so when you're drafting Simic, here's a nice Spell Rupture for us, which is definitely playable in Simic. Last slots is also definitely playable in Simic. So, just a couple notes. At the 5 slot, you want Leyline Phantoms or Adaptive Snapjaws. You want things that evolve all your creatures, right? You want things with high power, high toughness. Mind Eye Drake is actually not bad because it does have a high toughness too. So you want things like Adaptive Snapjaw and stuff like that. Totally Lost come around late too. So do Adaptive Snapjaws, but I feel like I can pick up a Totally Lost more so than an Adaptive Snapjaw. And then Spell Rupture is 100% playable in Simic. Simic does not have very many ways to interact with its opponent, which is unfortunate, but Spell Rupture is one of those ways, the other being like Burst of Strength. And then if you pick up Pit Fights are very high picks. In any case, this is an interesting pick. We could take the Breeding Pool, fix our mana, take a couple ticks. I don't think that's really going to be my pick. I think the pick here is Cloudfin Raptor. It's the most important common creature for Simic. Simic really wants 2 to 3 1-drops to just come out of the gate early, put on a lot of pressure. Drakewing Krasis is also going to be very good. I think this is going to be an interesting pack because there are a couple of green cards in this pack, and we'll see who's drafting what on the table. This is a pretty strong pack in general. We can count playables. We'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if we're lucky, we could wheel the Drakewing Krasis, or the Miming Slime. Doubtful on the Miming Slime, or the Greenside Watcher. Any one of those would be fine, but I'm just going to take the Cloudfin Raptor because it's obviously a very strong card. Alright, here there's a Mugging, which is very strong. Kingpin's Pet, another very strong pack. Boros Charm, Gruul Charm. Picks for us are Scabclan Charger, Frilled Oculus, or Ivy Lane Denizen. I'm going to take the Frilled Oculus. Turn 2, 3, 5 is just really, really powerful. It's one of the best 2-drop creatures for Simic in general. I think it's probably stronger than Shamble Shark. Ivy Lane Denizen can also get really broken in Simic as well, and would probably be the second pick here for me. I understand that Scabclan Charger is very good, but Ivy Lane Denizen can just get bonkers sometimes. Here we get this weak pack. Alright, we could try to splash for something. We do sort of have a red splash in the wings, right? So we could try to take something to add to that, because there's nothing here in green or green or blue. With that being said, I think that the best card for that splash would probably be the Cinder Elemental. Not happy about that, but we'll just hack it here. Ooh, okay, so here's an interesting pick. There's a Frilled Oculus, a Slaughterhorn, and a Simic Flux Mage. Once again, I think I'm just going to be taking the Frilled Oculus. 2-drops in this format are king, and this is the best one for Simic, honestly. Slaughterhorn's also very good. Simic Flux Mage I've heard is very good. I've had mediocre results with it, but I don't doubt the people who say that it's good. I would definitely play it in a deck like this, but I think Frilled Oculus is definitely the pick. Alright, here we get Dimir Charm, White of Precinct 6, Leyline Phantom, which is completely legit. Biomass Mutation is really mediocre, but it is a rare, so I'm tempted to take it here. We do have a decent amount of Evolve right now, so it does get better with Evolve, obviously. I think I'm inclined to take it here. You need to get it pretty big in order to actually deal a lot of damage, but I'm going to hide the red for now. But, I mean, like, it's a rare. Chances I'm going to see another one of these, highly unlikely, whereas I'll probably see another Leyline Phantom, so I'll take the Biomass Mutation. Alright, so here we get a pick between Death Cult Rogue, Rapid Hybridization, and Totally Lost. I'm going to take the Rapid Hybridization. Gives me a way to interact with my opponent. Destroys a creature that's hard to deal with. It does still give them a 3/3, which I understand, but I still think it's fine. Death Cult Rogue is also pretty good here for us. Unblockable Dude. Totally Lost also playable, but I think the Rapid Hybridization is the pick. Here we got a Nimbus Swimmer, which is fine. It sort of acts like this 5-drop type thing where it'll just like evolve all your creatures. It's overrated. I don't think it's amazing. You look at it and you're just like, oh, an X flyer, like you can be as big as how much men I have, right? But a lot of the times in this format it's going to be like a 3/3 flyer or a 4/4 flyer, which is not amazing. It's fine because like it comes down and evolves a lot of your dudes, and I think I like it more than Burst of Strength, which I do actually like a lot, but I'm just going to take the Nimbus Swimmer. Ooh, here's a Hands of Binding, which is definitely pretty sweet for us. We don't have a lot of evasion right now. We do have the Raptor, and then we have Krasis and Drakewing, 2 Krasises, and the Nimbus Swimmer, which is okay, but I think the Hands of Binding is just the strongest pick there. we wheel Drakewing Krasis. So Breeding Pool got taken out of this pack, Miming Slime got taken out of this pack, Greenside Watcher got taken out of this pack, and Drakewing Krasis did not. So this just tells you that no one on this table is really drafting Simic at all. Because Drakewing Krasis was the strongest card if you're looking to win. I could see a Simic player taking the Breeding Pool just for the ticks, but Drakewing Krasis was the strongest card for a Simic player. And here we get an Ivy Lane Denizen back, which is just money. So we're looking pretty good right now in terms of our Simic deck. Pretty happy with it. We've got a decent amount of evolved creatures. 5 or 6. 1, 2 sharks, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, technically. Here I'm going to take the adaptation, probably, because it can randomly win games, I guess. It's not really playable, though. Right now, I think this deck is looking pretty solid. When Simic's open, it's just really open. It's like people avoid it so much, you know? But I think this is definitely a good place to be in. It looks like Simic is open from both directions, which is awesome. So we're hoping to pick up one more Cloudfin Raptor if possible. Here I'll take a Mortar Strider from somebody. Looking to pick up one more Cloudfin Raptor if possible, or an Experiment one. Both viable turn 1 options. And then any more evolved creatures that we can pick up would obviously be great. Croconuras are very good. Shamble Sharks, I mean, I'm just naming good cards at this point, but I think you understand what I mean. That really just want the creatures to be very good. I think we're looking pretty solid too. We have ways to interact with our opponent. We have Spell Rupture, Rapid Hybridization, Hands of Binding. Normally you don't have very many ways to interact with your opponent at all, which is kind of unfortunate, but whatever. Keymaster Rogue is really unplayable. I don't like it very much. It's just too much of a tempo loss, and tempo in this format is huge. If you have one guy, and then you Keymaster Rogue, and then he kills it, that is rough. I understand it's unblockable. It doesn't look like a bad card, but it's just too much of a tempo loss. There's no value out of bouncing your creatures in this format, other than Urbis Protector. So, it kind of sucks. Alright, here is an interesting pick. We don't get anything outstanding for us, but there are a couple picks for us. So there's a Death Cult Rogue, which is legit. There's also an Ivy Lane Denizen. I like taking Ivy Lane Denizen here, actually, because when you get multiples of these guys, they just get bonkers. There's also a Metropolis Sprite here, but Dimir in this pack is looking pretty good. I think no one else on this table is drafting Simic, so I'm expecting to reliably wheel this. And there are very good black cards in this pack that the Dimir or Orzhov player will take before the Metropolis Sprite, like Death Approach, Battleshred Spy, Screecher, and Deathcoat Rogue are higher picks than Metropolis Sprite. If there is another Simic drafter on the table, they'll probably end up taking the Sprite, but I doubt it. We can do an experiment and see if this Sprite comes back. We'll know that there's probably not another Simic drafter on the table. Here, I mean, this is a pretty easy pit fight for us. This is one of the only ways you have to kill things in Simic. We could take another Ivy Lane Denizen and get kind of silly with that, but I don't think that's the pick over pit fight. It's probably one of the most important commons for Simic. Here we're just going to take another Shamble Shark. No doubt just taking more evolved dudes. It doesn't look like we're going to get another one-drop evolved creature, unfortunately, but no qualms taking another Shamble Shark there. Here we're not looking at much. There's a Scorchwalker, Skyjack, and a Shanktail. I'm just going to hack a Shanktail from somebody. Doubtful we'll play that. Looks like we're kind of getting cut right now. It's unfortunate. Strongest card in this pack. This is a pretty weak pack overall, actually, so I'm not sure we're even losing anything. I think I'm just going to take the Armored Transport. Spire Tracer doesn't have much value in this deck. I'm probably not going to play that. So we're just looking for 2 more playables, not that much more. We got 15 creatures right now, which is a pretty good place to be in. Got a decent amount of evolved guys, 7 right now, I think. So we're still in a good spot. Double Frilled Oculus, double Drakewing Krasis, so we definitely do have the makings of a pretty good deck. Another bad pack. Voidwalk is pretty bad for us, actually. If somebody plays Voidwalk, it's basically reset dudes. I'm just going to hack this Executioner Swing from someone, though. It's a more removal spell. The chances somebody's going to play main deck Voidwalk against me are highly unlikely, and then if they sideboard it in, they still need to draw it, so I'd rather just hack the Executioner swing from someone. Ooh, alright, here's a nice pick for us. There's a Totally Lost and a Drakewing Krasis. I think you guys know that I'm probably just going to take this Drakewing Krasis because it's pretty bonkers. A Totally Lost would be nice, but I mean, I'm not going to pass up that. Wow, this is a late Treasury Thrall. Wow. Wow. Jeez. So Burst of Strength is a legit card for us, which is why I'm thinking about whether I should take that or not. This is just good, though. It comes out a little slow, though, so we don't necessarily care as much. That's late, though. I'm just going to take the Burst of Strength. I know I could hack this, but Burst of Strength is a playable. So we'll see if the Metropolis Sprite comes back. This is going to be an interesting experiment to see if that Metropolis Sprite wheels. We'll see. Not sure if we play it, but it should be interesting. It'll be interesting to see if it wheels out of that pack. And it did, so I think that tells you something. You can see that Death's Approach, Balustred Spy, Death Cult Rogue, and there was another black card that I forget. There's another pretty good black card in that pack. I forget, but Metropolis Sprite wheeled. Right, and we were saying if there was another Simic drafter on the table, they would have to take the Metropolis Sprite. That would just be the best card for them. So we're the only Simic drafter on the table. With that being said, I think I take Hindervines for the board. I think our 2 slot is pretty good right now. And Hindervines is a better sideboard card than Metropolis Sprite is a better main deck card in our deck. And right now we have our full 23. Like, I don't think I would cut a Burst of Strength for a Metropolis Sprite. I understand people think I'm crazy for doing that pick because Metropolis Sprite is a pretty decent creature, but I think I like Last Thoughts in this deck. I like Burst of Strength, I like Rapid Hybridization. This is all fine. Ooh, I think I'd just take this Diluvian Primordial. I'm not sure if I play it, but probably just take it here. Hack a Scorchwalker from someone. Alright, so I'm not sure if we play this. It's a pretty good Primordial. Like, if you get the random... It's a 5/5 flyer, which is fine, but then I think, like if you get the removal spell, too, out of their graveyard, it's just nuts. I think we might board it in. I don't think we main deck it, but I think we could board it against Orzhov, like a removal-heavy Orzhov deck, or a removal-heavy Dimir deck. I think that's probably something that we can end our curve with, because I think like our main game right now is really just trying to tempo out our opponent with like 2 drops and 3 drops, more so than hitting our 7 drops. So I think this is our exact 23. We will go in here and try to build it. Mutation is fine, Pit Fight's in, Burst of Strength, no, Croconura, no. I mean, yes. God, if I wasn't playing Croconura, I would have like the most sick Simic deck ever. Alright, this is a 23. Sort by... I'll make that a 5-drop. Because that's sort of where it curves out to be. Burst of Strength, Hybridization. Okay, so this deck isn't terrible. This deck is pretty good. The Ivy Lane Denizen should be pretty good because most of our creatures are green. The one thing is, like, do we want to play this Last Thoughts? I think it's pretty good in this. I like it a lot in Simic in general. We do have 3 Krasises, 1 Elusive Krasis, a Cloudfin Raptor, and a Nimbus Swimmer, so it's not... We do have enough evasion to support it. We could also play the Hindervines, I guess, because we do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then Denizens to make Hindervines live. That's actually an interesting card that I would actually want to try out in this deck. That's actually kind of interesting now that I think about it. With the Denizens and everything, that seems absolutely hilarious. It can be such a blowout. Oh man, I kind of want to try that out. And just have fun with it. I think Last Thoughts is better. Alright, we'll do that, and then we'll board in Hindervines against Gruul or Boros. Alright, we do not need a mountain. I don't know why. Oh, because of Pit Fight. Then we're trying to see whether we need another island or whether we need another forest. I think we want a forest. Most of our cards seem to be blue. We can do a color sort really quick. Well, this is a green card. So we're actually even, which is interesting. So then we look at what do we need earlier. So all of our early drops need blue, whereas all of our later drops need green. So I think we probably want to play the extra island, because if you look at our 2-drops right now, so look at our 2-drops, and we need islands for the Oculuses. So if we are stuck with a hand with like all of like islands or something like that, we're not completely dead. I mean, like we obviously need both, right? Like we need both for turn 3. Turn 4 is a little bit late, so I'm not going to consider that, but I think we want the islands a little bit earlier, so we're going to do 9-8, and we're going to submit. Alright guys, so that was the draft. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in round 1. Peace.